So my name is Marielle Kokos. I am in sales with Apex Order Pickup Solutions, and we do the smart pickup lockers for restaurants.
Very cool. Tell me what that looks like.
Well, very simple process. The restaurant would load the food into the locker from the backside, or it could be a front-loading locker. But then on the pickup side of that, either a third-party delivery driver or a first-party pickup customer would come, scan a code on their phone, type in their first name, last initial, a cell phone number, whatever it is that unique identifier we've decided with the restaurant. Locker opens, you grab your food, shut the locker, and go. It's usually a 10-second process.
That is very, very cool. All right. So when a brand comes to you for this solution and they've never done lockers before,
Sure.
What do they come to you to solve? And then what are they surprised you also solve once they're implemented?
Yeah, I think what I've heard from our restaurant partners that they're looking for consistent experience across the board with their customers. And lockers is an easy, great way to do that. It's the same process every single time. So the customer knows exactly what they're getting.
Okay.
The other big use case for restaurants is third-party delivery. We've all had experiences where a driver comes up and really tries to push that phone in someone's face to get that order as fast as possible because they want to make as many deliveries as possible. And sometimes that's disruptive to employees, to your current customers that are there, even in line. So this is a nice way to just streamline the pickup to one side of the restaurant or even outside of the restaurant. We do have an externally facing locker as well, where nobody needs to be disrupted. Everyone can still do what they do best, which is surprising and delighting customers, and third-party delivering can be picked up over here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I can see. So the data, of course, on the tail end, right? Just the CSAT going up consistently, the employee retention even being impacted from not being so bogged down.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's
We
fantastic.
actually recently did a study with a third-party company with with drivers, just to see how they were feeling about lockers, what their thoughts were, how they, felt about it. And a surprising number of them said that their life would be made easier if they could just pick up from a locker, not interact with a staff member. And if they knew that that order they were coming to pick up was in a locker, that they would be more inclined to accept the order. So we were very happy to hear that that restaurants are having a great experience with them, but so are drivers. They're actually really loving just going to the locker, quickly grabbing the food, and moving on with their delivery.
Yeah, understandably. Yeah, for sure. That's very cool.
Yeah.
You've been to many FS Techs.
Yes.
At this particular FS Tech, what were you surprised by? What were you not expecting this year?
Oh, great question. I think what I have enjoyed is the last year and this year, it's been a ton of excitement about learning about new technology. Everyone is very open and willing to hear how we can help solve some of their problems, where some automation can come into play, and how we can get them back to doing what they enjoy doing, which is working directly with their customers, not worrying about some of this back-end stuff.
Yeah, totally fair. Yeah, no, it is nice to see. I feel like there was so much technology adoption so rapidly.
Yeah.
Everyone got overwhelmed and they were kind of like, no.
Yes, they needed a break.
Absolutely.
They needed a break.
And yeah, I am feeling that come back where everyone's like, okay, I have taken a breath and now we can start looking at challenges and how to overcome them. Yeah, I feel that strongly. What topic at the sessions has been most exciting for you personally?
Yeah, and funny enough, it has nothing to do with lockers, but it does have to do with AI and automation. I went to a session this morning that Hi Auto sponsored.
Okay.
And they are AI voice for driver, and just listening to how restaurants are using it, how they're thinking about it, how their customers are interacting with it. It was just really interesting and very cool to see what that technology can do and the efficiencies that it's creating within the restaurants. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. What tip would you give to a restaurant who's at FS Tech, maybe for their first time? What should they do? We've got, just a couple hours left on the show floor. There's some sessions tomorrow morning, and then FS Tech's done.
Yes.
So, what would you tell a restaurant?
I always think that it's great to come with a plan. So doing a little bit of research on the app beforehand, figuring out who's here, what they do, and then what you're looking for. What are some of the problems you're trying to solve up front? Then having a list of people that you want to make sure you stop by and see. When you get to this marketplace, it can be overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff going on and a lot of people trying to pull your attention. So to have a game plan coming to FS Tech, I think that's helpful. And And then now at this point, we have a couple hours left. It's like, okay, who have you not seen? What's a new technology that you haven't been able to talk to yet? And make sure you can hopefully make it clear.
So the technology, the restaurant technology industry as a whole has this really cool like soul, right? Because it's all based in hospitality. And a lot of the tech companies are coming from people who have restaurants or had restaurants or have been restaurant adjacent. And they feel that like that love through food, hospitality, welcoming, and they put that into their products a lot of times, right? And so what the industry has gone through a lot of changes. What do you think is next for the industry, keeping kind of that soul in mind?
Yeah, I think what I've seen at conferences throughout this year is a huge focus on loyalty, how to keep customer retention and adoption, really for that matter, but also building a great culture for your people. Because labor is still a hot topic. It is still something people have issues with. It's still hard to make sure that you have a full staff. So what are you able to do and offer your team members to make sure that they want to stay with your brand, want to continue repping with your restaurant, and that in turn creates a better experience for your customer because your employees are happy, your customers are getting a great experience from them too.
Well, that's a great segue. That's how you and I met, was right through the Lineup acquisition when Lineup became part of TimeForge, and you live that world, right? And you know the impact that the right labor solution has on the end customer who's getting their food. What do you wish brands, restaurants knew that you feel like they're still missing despite the technology adoption rates?
I think one thing just to keep in mind or, consider when you're looking at technology is it's not always about replacing labor. It's not always about taking jobs away and making it easier to do more with less humans. It's repurposing those people to do more impactful work that will take your restaurant further and letting us, the technology solutions, handle some of that easy, automated stuff.
What is your favorite pizza place in Chicago?
Well, I unfortunately have celiac, so I have to choose a gluten-free pizza.
Yeah.
But my favorite gluten-free pizza in Chicago is a place called Pete's. On the north side, right by Lane Tech, by Spalding. That would be my go-to.
I love that. Very cool. I'll have to try it sometime.
Yes.
All right. Anything else that people should know?
Going back to lockers.
Yes.
Lockers are affordable. They do not have to be a huge upfront cost. And I think that that's what people are thinking when they see a locker, they see a big piece of hardware. It's like, oh, we can't afford that. Or it's not in our budget right now, but it actually doesn't need to be. We have a really great leasing program that allows for the lockers to be a monthly fee, with our software and our integrations, and it just makes it so much easier to digest and get it into restaurants faster.
So if I was a restaurant and I wanted to know more about lockers and how to get started with you guys, and if I was a good fit and what kind of problems you might be able to solve, what's my first step?
I would say reach out to me. Shoot me an email, shoot me a LinkedIn, anything that is easiest for you to communicate with. And I'm happy to answer any questions. Or if I don't know, get you in touch with the right people at Apex.
Love it. Wonderful. All right. Thank you very much.